Thank you very much for joining us today. So we are having today the event Build to Scale from Prototype to Business. The idea is to chat between hardware founders, venture capital firms, and corporate innovation managers, and other people from the ecosystem, like from universities and transfer offices. So I'm glad that a lot of people come today, and hope that you enjoy the evening. So this event, Build to Scale, has been created thanks to the collaboration of multiple companies. So we have Make More, we have Prusa, where we are standing today. We have the project EpicX, funded by the European Union, which will be introduced tonight with an open call. So then we have Opera Sky, which is a design studio as well for startups. The idea of today, as I said, is that we will first introduce Andre from Prusa Lab. He is the director of Prusa Lab, and then Mihaela from EpicX, and they will tell us a bit more about these 2 points, and then we will take the fireside chat. So for now, I will give the word to Andre. So welcome, Andre. Thanks for hosting us.
Hello. Thanks a lot, Ricardo. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to having you here. My name is Andre, and I work here for Prusa Research. It's a company. It's actually 6th floor above us, but also in a couple buildings around us. And someone might know from you that we are producing the 3D printers here in Europe, which is still a little bit unique. And we are sending the printers. We are producing them here. We are developing them. We are packing them. And from here, from this point, we're sending them all over the world. And we as a company are quite successful in this. And that's why we also want to be part of the ecosystem of hardware startups here in Prague. I'm head of Prusa Lab, which is the place where we are here right now. We are not directly participating on the printers, but we are experimental lab. We also do the prototyping, and we have different partners from the field of hardware startups. On the one hand, we have an acceleration program. A couple of years ago, we started looking for the hardware startups and helping them to start their way. We have some successful examples, but also, on the other hand, which is right now, we are really open to any partnership with someone who needs the prototyping or accelerating. Doesn't matter if it's a startup or entrepreneur or just some part of company who focusing on this kind of work. So we are here to looking for the partners, and that's why also we are really glad that we can stimulate such a community like you are, those who are focusing on hardware startups, tangible things, but also AI and deep tech, and that's why the topic is shaped like this for tonight. I will be here during all the event and also afterwards, so you can address me, but also if someone I can give a little tour in the lab to give you a little overview what kind of technologies we are dealing with and what kind of outputs you can get out of it. Cool. So enjoy your evening here with us, and hope we will chat together afterwards.
Thank you, Andre. Thanks for the introduction. And yeah, feel free to reach out to Andre, so we will enjoy the tour afterwards, after the fireside chat. Then I will introduce Mihaela Kasparet as well from Make More, and will introduce us about EpicX. It's a project helping women in deep tech, so that will be really interesting to hear. So welcome, Mihaela. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello. I would like to welcome you on behalf of another organizer, Make More, which is actually organization which, thank you, which organizes the Maker Faire festivals. I don't know if you heard about it, but you can meet their makers, you can meet their researchers, but also startups in its early stage. So we organize 12 festivals in 12 cities in the Czech Republic, cities and towns. So if you are interested, then just check the website. And my second role is actually, Make More is also part of this European project. It's called EpicX. And we think that it perfectly fits to this evening. And I would like to tell you more about this. So EPICX is actually a project which consists of 16 partners from all over Europe. And we would like to support women-led deep tech startups. And it's important for us to actually promote this topic, promote this gender bias. And I would like to talk more about the acceleration program, which is one of the important output of this project. This project lasts for 2 years. It started already in January, and we already did some research on this topic. And at the beginning of November, we are launching this acceleration program. And what is this acceleration program about? It's actually, there is going to be selected 20 startups, and then you can receive even like 60,000 euro per startup. And it consists of business coaching. You can read, and I can discuss more in details if you are interested in. And also you can ask which are the eligible domains. So you can see, oh, very interesting. Can you see the letters? So, so these are the eligible deep tech domains in a language which I don't know. Interesting. And these are industrial and sectorial fields which startup must actually fill in. Also, these are some legal statuses and which eligible applicants have to follow, and it's about legal form. And of course, what is from my point of view, the most important? It must be women leadership. So you can see the definition, like the founder must be at a C-level, and a C-level position owns at least 25% ownership. I would be, we continue in a new language. Okay, so my email is not actually readable, so if you are interested, then you have to follow me, and you have to actually come by person. So I'm looking forward to discuss more about the project and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Michaela. So you make it like that way so that people can talk more with you, so no email, so that's good. Good, so thanks, Andre, thanks, Michaela. As I was saying, now, before we start the fireside chat, I will also give a bit of a surprise. So after the fireside chat, we will have an open mic for you guys. If some of you have a project or any initiative that you want to say what you are doing in a 2-minute conversation, you will be able to join. So I'm telling you now so that you can prepare for it if you want to do it. And there will be a chance for 2 or 3 projects or companies if they want to tell a bit about that or anything that can be beneficial for this community. So just take that in mind, and then that if you can have the courage to come here, of course, and don't be shy, then just come here. So now we will go to the fireside chat. So the idea is that I will do some initial questions, but I think we want to have, let's call it a bi-directional communication here, that is not only Megi and me talking, but ideally that you guys come with all the power and curiosity you may have and ask your questions. And ideally after this meeting, you will say, well, I know what are the next steps, or at least moving a little bit further into your work or into what you're planning to do. So that's the idea. Or share your experiences as well. So the idea is to keep talking in this way. And this is it. So for today, as we all know, of course, we are here to welcome Megi Mejdrechová. She is the co-founder and CTO of RoboTwin. RoboTwin is, let's say, company and startup building this hardware, which basically train robots how to do some manual activities in an easier way. And she's working with a lot of manufacturing companies, and everything started from her work at the university. So welcome, Megi. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks. So, Megi, I was wondering before we start, did you train some robot today or not? Or
Yeah, so first of all, hi everyone, thanks for the invitation. I have to say, like, we've just moved to a new office last week, so like everything is a mess.
Okay.
So like what I did today, like I searched through all the boxes so that I can grab the device and bring it for you to have a chance to see it, but it's currently quite a chaos.
Okay, so you were more moving boxes, not training robots. So, okay, good. So, yeah, now let's go first to and let's say travel on time. I know I mentioned you started this from a university project. So can you tell us how was that story for you? Is like it was your life mission that you wanted to build this, or it was something that appeared on the way?
Yeah, sure. Well, I studied here in Prague, the Czech Technical University, and I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never wanted to have a startup, like it was totally not on my list. But what I wanted was to work on something impactful, like use my education to create something what can change things for better. And that's basically why I chose this challenge of robot programming and easier access to automation as the topic of my thesis. And when I finished the thesis, the people were reacting like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So like, fine, but what now? And that was the moment when I felt like if I actually want the impact to happen, I need to continue developing the concept further until that's a real product and then until that can be really used in the industry, what was like my motivation at the beginning. So it was quite a long journey, even like a mental journey, I would say, like coming up with that idea. But yeah, basically that's how it all started.
Yeah. Can you hear me well? Yeah, since you are here talking about how to bring projects from prototype or even from paper, let's say, to the reality. Yeah, how was that journey for you? What helps you to move to make a reality your product? So if you can tell us a bit that process, did you find help with mentorship? How was that process and even the collaboration with the university, which that's in itself a big topic to discuss later on for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like a proper researcher, like I didn't imagine it's gonna be that hard. So like I thought, hey, like there's the concept, so most of the issue is like solved and now we will just make it. I was very wrong, like it was like very challenging, way more than I could imagine. And I'm very happy for that lesson. I'm very happy that I found out that like it takes something to actually turn into reality a good idea. And it's a very valuable journey and very valuable effort of anyone who tries that. So like idea is good, but having like the motivation and the strength and like putting the time into it, like and a lot of the thinking into making that real is something super hard, but super rewarding at the end. So like we went, we needed finances, right? So like we started looking for funding, and then when we had funding, we were looking for talents. Other people who could help us develop the thing further. And the combination of the two, I think, was crucial for the beginning. Third, very important thing, having real end users who are willing to be your pilot customers, pilot users, so that you can validate what you are building in the real environment. And you are not just building something out of your beliefs, but you are building something based on feedback you are getting from the real end users.
And how was the, let's call it the problem of the egg and the chicken, right, with the investors? Because I assume that some of them, they want to see that you guys are proactive and are building something that, but yeah, how was that journey? So did you build some initial prototype bootstrapping first, and then once you kind of having some prototype, they were more willing to give you some investment?
Exactly, and we also tried to go in multiple stages, not just like prototype product, but we were always thinking like, how do we want this thing to look in next 3 months? And we were developing in iterations, and each iteration opens new doors for you and new challenges as well. So to be able to start with the first few iterations, we needed public funding. So we were quite successfully bootstrapping like until this June, basically. So quite recently we invited the investors for the first time to join our team. And I think that's like on one hand, it's challenging to have the hardware development. On the other hand, there is quite many programs that understand it's challenging and that you can reach out for the funding or for the mentoring and for the support. So we very successfully made use of these that exist on the national level, but also the European level.
Good. So I will make my last question before opening to you guys, and then we will see how it flows the conversation. But yeah, so of course we are watching the hardware here, but I think if we want to make people to understand a bit more about the applications of the product and how does it look in, let's say, use cases for the manufacturing company. So can you tell us one or two cases, like how can people imagine people is using this hardware and yeah, how does it look?
Yeah, I can even do the showcase.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's actually a very good characteristic of our product, that it's so compact and it's variable. So you can actually take it, pack it to your backpack, go to some factory and show them like, look people, this is how you can use it. So the typical use case, as you asked, would be, for example, a paint shop or a factory that is doing grinding, like these like typical manufacturing operations, or welding. So if you would be like someone from the sales team, which I'm not, but you would go and visit your customer, you would like...
Like that? Okay.
Yeah.
I know that why they are buying, guys.
I'll explain. So have you ever been to a paint shop? Like, do you know how a painting looks like? So they are using spray guns, right? Like, and it looks like a gun for a reason. So like we have this device that looks kind of like a spray gun, and we tell them, you know what, like you can just show the movement you would like the robot to repeat, and our device will record it. And after the device records it, we will generate a robotic program for you. And the robotic program you put on the robot, and the robot will be doing the painting instead of you. It's as easy as that. So one demonstration of the movement, you can get a program for the painting robot, and the robot can be like automatically doing the spray painting, which is, by the way, very ugly, very demanding, very difficult job, nothing you would like to do. So we are not, people are asking, we are not like stealing people's job. We are actually helping to release them from something which is very like dirty, unhealthy, and demanding, and no one likes it.
And when talking about robotics arms, I think, right? So like, do you need to integrate with different suppliers of this, and how does it work? Because I assume every company have different brands, different processes, and everything, right?
That's true. But industrial automation is very rigid and very like old-fashioned. I was surprised when I first like entered the industry, but it's true. So like, unlike the startup scene, which is very fragmented, like the classical industrial automation is like 5-6 big players, like ABB, Fanuc, Kuka, Yaskawa. So what we did at the beginning, we were like, we don't want to compete with them. We want to collaborate with them. So we made our solution fully compatible with their robots. It's not invasive, it's like respectful to what they developed, and nowadays we can integrate to any of these big players.
Good. So guys, do you have any specific questions to continue the conversation? Or? Go ahead.
Hello, thanks for the presentation and interesting talk. I was wondering, like, so it's basically works as repeating the demonstration, so it uses some kind of reinforcement learning stuff, or what's inside, if you can speak to that?
Yeah, it's very straightforward. So we knew that we need some solution that would be helping manufacturers to automate like tomorrow. So we went with the idea that the human is the best one to demonstrate the desired movement, and we wanted to make it really like fast and simple for them. So we are not training any complicated like AI models in the background. What we are doing instead, like we take the one demonstration and we optimize it with all the know-how about robotics that we have, so that it fits nice to a robot. So it's basically algorithmic solution and it's like really putting focus on what the person demonstrated. So like we put a lot of trust on that guy or woman doing the demonstration, and then we like heavily optimize what we got from the demonstration to output the robot program.
And if I can speak a bit more, and the output that the robot gets, it's not the exact movement, but he basically learns the task, so he doesn't have to perform exactly the same trajectory, but maybe like a more general knowledge, or what's that?
Yeah, so this first product that we've built is really doing like one-to-one. So like you want to teach the robot one product, you show it one demonstration, and it will get the trajectory for the robot optimized, so like not total copy, but like the one trajectory. You want to automate another product, so you again like show it on the other product, and you get the robotic program for that other product. We've started with that because building like AI model from scratch from the beginning would be just impossible. The reason, we wouldn't have enough training data to do that. Because training data for industrial applications, super difficult to get. However, since this was released at the end of 2023, what we've started working on afterwards was exactly something what you had in mind, I think, like a model that would be able to generalize on top of these single demonstrations.
Right.
It's an R&D phase, but it's the direction that we are heading to.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, at the back there. Oh, well. Okay.
Sorry?
You can go first. Okay.
Hello.
Sorry.
What kind of, when you want to sell in EU this product, what kind of certifications do you need to do, or like what do you need to do to sell it in EU market?
Okay, nice question. It's an electronic device, right? So like any basic certification for electronic device applies. So like you need to make sure that the components itself are certified for the European market, like batteries and sensors and so on. You should also be in compliance with like the electromagnetic compatibility thing, like very standard for any electronic device you would be producing. It's not too difficult to get if you are sourcing the individual like components from like European certified manufacturers. It's fine. Like you can assemble that from those, and then this will also be in compliance. There is one specific certification that we need for one specific use case, and that's the spray painting, like in the paint shop, directly inside the paint shop. So like this thing that I took with me is like one variation of our product, but we have also another one that can be attached directly to the spray gun. So it's not like handheld tool, but it's just sensors you like plug into a spray gun, and you actually can record the movement during the spraying. Now it's like super technical, but this one is actually considered as explosive environment. And that's bad, because then you need certification for the explosive environment. It's a niche market. However, we are working on getting that certification, and if we get that, we will be the only one in the world who has something like that. So it's a trade-off.
I am curious about development life cycle. So you said you developed the product by iterations. So how was that, like, dividing your backlog into iterations and how to prioritize them? Because eventually what you have is the hardware. So how you prioritize which components that you should build first and which components that you should build later? And how long did it take eventually to get the final product?
Yeah, sure. So we started with a prototype built on like Raspberry Pi and then a lot of wires and just LEDs. And it took like 10 months to make it look somehow like this. Afterwards, we are moving now forward in like quarters. So like each quarter, our team has a new mission, like a new goal for the quarter, and we are moving in like smaller iterations. But exactly as you said, like it's a hardware, so we need to take into account like, I don't know, printing a new design might itself take like 2 or 3 weeks. So the quarterly planning fits for us quite nicely. But again, like the initial phase, like from Raspberry Pi and wires until something like this took us like 10 months. What we focused on at the very start was everything exposed to the end user. Anything what is hidden from the end user you don't care about. So like we put quite a lot of focus on the software as well, on the like web app, because this is like how the users are like looking at it. This thing, it was still just a bunch of virus, but we had it like under the table that no one was seeing it. So like we really distinguished like the highest priority got the things that are exposed to the user. What is hidden can wait for later.
It's connected to the internet and it is a panel that customers can connect with and check the results, right?
Yes, there is like a web application where they are like looking at what they've recorded, and they can configure the generation of the robotic programs.
I wonder, since you're talking about, let's say, prototype and these phases, so how was the process to close the first pilot? Because if you are working in some traditional businesses, like how open they were to work with you with an initial version, and also, yeah, can you imagine you have a Netflix documentary team with you, and how was that? Can you describe us? Because it was awkward, it was okay, they were really open, yeah.
Yeah, they were early adopters. You know, like this is like a specific profile of people who are kind of visionaries and who are very tolerant and who can get happy through like your energy being like young and naive and like super motivated, and who are a little bit like, yeah, like let them play and we will see what comes out of it. But in the same time, like they are not like stupid, right? So like they can spot this is something cool, there is a high level of risk, but like I want to go that way. So we were lucky that we were like, I was trying to get introduced to as many possible partners as possible, and we were lucky that we found one system integrator, which is a company who delivers the automating solutions through Europe to the manufacturing companies, and they became our partners. We had access to their laboratory, we had access to their robots, we had access to the consultations from them, and we are still collaborating with them because like they believed in us in the very, very beginning, and that helped us a lot.
Wow, that's great. So, and how many partners you needed to try out before finding the right one? It's like, because yeah, for anyone starting here or they are planning to start something, yeah. So, yeah, maybe motivations of moving into that, because it's, I assume it's something like selling, right? Like you need to be trying to talk to a lot of leads till one is closed or something.
Yeah, no, it wasn't actually that difficult.
Okay.
Like looking back at that, I think that what it means is like our product is actually really solving something what they see as a challenge on the market. So like when we approached them, they saw like, okay, it makes sense. Like if that works, it actually makes sense, and it's doing something what I never had the idea it could be solved like this, but it's solving something what I see as a problem. So it took like 3-4 visits, and we got 2 very relevant partners. As I said, we still work with them, so we were lucky.
Good. So yeah, that's good that you find, let's say, the holy grail of a startup to find where is the demand and then build something instead of the opposite, because a lot of the time we just build something and then try to figure it out.
Yeah. But maybe I would also say, like, it was a lesson for me. Like, I thought it's gonna be way, way harder. But like I thought, like, hey, like I was like 23 and like a girl as well, right? Like not that super like usual in that domain, and I was like, they will all not listen to me at all. But no, it was actually they were more respectful than I expected. They were more interested than I expected. So like the lesson learned from me really, like don't be afraid of trying that out and like reaching out to people, approaching people with your idea, because just like get rid of your internal bias.
Good, yeah, that's a good lesson. Go ahead.
Hi. Who was the first customer? Was it a small Czech company or a large multinational? I don't need a name, just was it a small company?
Yes, it was one of the smaller companies here in Czech Republic who is the technology provider. So it was not like end user using it in their manufacturing line, but it was actually someone who is building the manufacturing lines for the others. And again, like they were one of these early adopters. So like people who are like tech enthusiasts, and they saw that this can... sorry, that this can help them to have some competitive advantage compared to their competition.
Maybe we will switch and see if we will just share one. We will share just only one, and then we will see. Yeah, sorry. So we will share one, and we'll see if it works better. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, hi. I have a question. During the development process of the hardware, how did it work out for like sizing out the team that actually developed it? So did you have some core team of few people that you originally had the idea with, and how did you scale it up to actually get the final product?
Yeah, that's a good question. So at the beginning, we were a founding team of 3 people. Each of us was an engineer, so each of us could have contributed somehow. However, the first iteration that took us the 10 months, we would never be able to do it ourselves in the team of 3. And when we were looking for the funding, as I said at the beginning, we were also looking for like strategic partners to help us like make use of the funding. And the project that we got was not just the money, but actually also the partners. So like we applied for the project as a consortia of partners, and we were successful. That means that like us 3, like as I said, like I was like 25 maybe years old, like no experience with management and leadership. I was suddenly leading a team of like 30 people, who all of them were like helping us develop our product, which was crazy because like we drafted the application and all the requirements and all the like desired shape of the thing, and then we got the project and we were like, okay, so now we are executing. So yeah, that was for the 1 year. We had a team of 30 people, then they left because the project was over and we needed to like take everything like in-house and continue developing that and maintaining that. And we started with the most critical positions, like mechanical designer, electronics designer, and the first software developer, like apart myself, came like a year afterwards. And now we are a team of 20, roughly.
I have a question about the role of the university, because I didn't understand if there was like IPO deal and you already did research on the university, or you just met like co-founders, and like I'm very interested in that. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Sure. So the concept of this was part of my diploma thesis, not a PhD research. It makes a big difference from the perspective of like legal and formal and everything. And when I finished the thesis, I was not that much interested in doing a PhD. So I basically said, fair, like I'll find my own way how to continue with that. And the university was also not too proactive, offering anything. So it's like, never mind. And then I found there was like it's called Jumpstarter. It's like a incubator for very early stage ideas or startups. And I thought maybe I can go there, and the people there, like the mentors, will help me understand whether it makes sense or not. And I didn't want to go alone because like I'm a tech person and I don't like to like make phone calls and write emails and everything. So I felt like I need other people on the team. So that's how I built the founding team. And then we went our way. So like the university was really very helpful to bring me to that idea, giving me the opportunity to work on that for the thesis. But then I took it my way and we went there, yeah. But the co-founders I met at the university as well.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask you, what are the key resources you have to gather to be able to develop, to go this way you just described, to be able to develop things, to manufacture, to assemble and stuff?
Like I don't want that to sound too like straightforward, but like you need money. Like you need resources at the beginning to be able to buy things for the prototyping. But as I said, like you can make it cheaper when you think very well on what is priority and what you really need to do and what you can like leave out for later. What is harder to get, like money would not help you there, is the people to validate the product with. So like it's the end users, like the pilot customers, and for that you need strong partnerships. So either you can get it through some community, or you go out to the industry and try to find the people yourself. And when you get bigger, then it's the access to talent pool. That was like very crucial for us, especially in the last year. So like we found some partners to help us manufacture stuff. We found the partners to help us validate stuff. Throughout the network, we made really good partnership with the makerspace in Next Zone here in Prague, and we gained access to the manufacturing tools, which was great. But what we were very struggling last year was access to the talent pool, like getting the right people on board and like having something you can offer them. So key components like money, partners, either for the prototyping or for validation, and the access to the talent pool.
So if we can follow up there about money, right? So relationship with investors. So like, how do you feel is the ecosystem in terms of understanding of the process of hardware companies? Do you think everyone is too focused in, let's say, software and software as a service or stuff like that, or you see improvements into this area of hardware startups?
There is not that many investors who would be willing to take the risk of investment into hardware startup. The risk is higher, yes, because again, the money, like what you need to invest into the first stage is quite a lot before it proves itself. That's also why we were waiting that long before we opened the pre-seed. So like we closed the investment in June, as I said, and before we were bootstrapping through European and national projects. However, nowadays you have like quite a lot purely software startups, like different wrappers of ChatGPT and OpenAI API. And I have the feeling that it's difficult for the investors to navigate in that landscape. And if your product is more than that, and you can prove like what is the additional value it can provide, it's like you make yourself different from the others. So like robotics is getting again a little bit more into the focus of investors, but still like you need to prove yourself way more before they are willing to talk to you. So like basically the main answer we were always getting was like get like 3 to 5 paying pilots, paying customers, and then we will talk. And that's why we use the public funding to get until this stage, because otherwise we wouldn't have the open door.
Exactly. So I think it's important lesson always to try to focus in sales as soon as possible. So, yeah. Well, you mentioned that you were one of the software developers of the. So, are you still coding, or you are more focused into sales nowadays? And then, second part of that is like, I know that you are expanding to other countries, or how was that? It was inbound, or it was like you reach out to them? Yeah.
It's like a question if I'm still developing. Like there are like very radical like opinions on that, whether a CTO should be a developer or not. Well, I still like it, so I still do it. You find it good? Okay, I also find it good. No, like we are a team of 20, including like the sales and operations and marketing and everything. So it's like not that I would have like a team of 50 people doing everything. So I'm still very hands-on, and I like it. Sales I don't do at all, and that's good. I did a little bit at the beginning, just to like at the beginning, you as a founder, you are also kind of like conveying the vision of your company. So it's important to be there in the process, which I was. Nowadays, for the like normal deals, I'm not involved at all, and it's good. I think that sales and tech should be separated. So I don't do that anymore. And about the expansion, so the Czech market is just small. We would never make it like big enough staying here. So since the very beginning, we knew we will go international, and inbound is the best, of course. So like if there is a customer who sees us on the industrial fair or on LinkedIn or on our website, and they reach out to us and tell us, you know what, like we've been looking for such a solution for so long, we couldn't find it, and now finally we have it. It's just awesome, because then working with them is really like nice. So most of the companies from abroad are actually inbound. So like Canada, we have installation. In Mexico, we have installation. Netherlands, we have one installation, and it's really great. And also, like US now is facing the same challenge as we do in Europe. They try to onshore, they try to do more manufacturing, but they have lack of people who would be doing the manufacturing. So for us, this like new market that is emerging through the like political situation and everything is very promising. So we try to push a little bit more on that side.
Anyone have questions?
Sorry, because I'm from Asia, so my question will be more about that. I'm just wondering, have you studied any collaboration or partnership, if it's convenient for you to share, study that kind of partnership with collaborators from Taiwan or Asia?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Like, the Asian market is really big, but really unknown for us. So like, honestly, like we, in our team, we were like, we don't know it enough. We don't understand it enough to be able to go there and try the business there. So what we do instead, we try to get to know it a little bit. And that's why we went like, I don't know if it was summer, maybe, like we went to this like business mission to Taiwan, which was really great because it was like the first contact with that market. And we gathered some experience of like how things work, like what is the dynamic there, and so on. But still, like, we need to learn more and get to know more before we are able to like focus there in a proper way. So right now it's like a meeting phase, like getting to know each other phase, and I honestly hope that it will grow into something bigger. But we are still in this like getting to know each other phase.
Hi, so you mentioned about being thrown into a leadership position of like not leading anyone to having 30 people. Can you share some personal examples of experiences of like unexpected moments that you encountered that you've had to deal with, and maybe you actually felt that you've actually learned something and grew from it?
Yeah, like you are learning every day, right? Because every day is like new challenges. No, what was really cool for me was like understanding that it's not like a hierarchy, that they would like I would be the leader and everyone, I would understand everything and the other people would just like be following my commands, let's say. That's how I imagined leadership before I went into that. But it was a lot about like mutual respect and understanding, because like I knew what I want from the product, but I didn't know how to do it. And I had a team of experts, like bigger experts than I was, and we needed to find a way how to communicate together so that I trust them that we develop the product I want, and they trusted me enough to follow my vision with the product. So like this, like going from like the imagination of leadership being like the pyramid into imagination that it's like cooperation between people in the team where everyone has a different role, but it's not like higher or lower, but it's just different. That's what I really like, because I think like now, even if I like would leave RoboTwin and go working somewhere else, it would never be the same, because my opinion on how leadership should be made changed a lot.
Hi, you mentioned that you don't do sales as a founder. I sincerely envy you, because I'm a founder and I must do sales. And I even heard that the first customers must be achieved by a founder, because founder puts really hard in to find a new customer. A first customer is essential. So my question to you is, how did you find the first customer? Who helped you with that? How lucky could you be that you don't need to do sales? That's my question to you.
I think that what helped us at the very beginning was we created some kind of FOMO around us. So as I said, like the first customer was actually an early adopter who wanted to have some competitive advantage over the others on the market. And like we took this thing, like looked very like worse than this, but we took it to the industrial fair in Brno, like the biggest one for like engineers in Czech Republic, and we were presenting that there. And basically the Czech market is so small that everyone meets there on that event. And we kind of were like, you know, like this is very new, and we tried to create this like FOMO feeling, and yeah, it worked out. Then like the first one was like, this is new, I want to have that, even though I don't have like immediate use for it, like I wanna be there when it's getting bigger, and that's what brought them. So I think it's still like the founder's kind of vision, and like I was told that many times, like, you know, like when we talk to you, like your eyes are like shining, and I was like, yeah, really? But I think that it works. Like that's your role as a founder. I feel like to be inspiring, to convey the vision, and like let the people have the FOMO feeling, and like bring them to like follow your vision and work with you on that.
I wonder how is the collaboration with the customers in terms of feedback with the product, and how does it look, that process for you guys now, since you are also receiving inbound requests, and then you're working with someone from Mexico, someone in Canada, someone US. So how is that relationship? And if you can tell us a bit about the process so that you kind of keep sanity into that as well, because I assume you get a lot of feedback, right? Or
yeah, so as I said, like the validation is important. So we like try to get as much feedback as we can. So we like visit the customers, talk to them, try to meet like not just the buying personas, but also like the users, which is like the workers, the painters, and all the other people in the factories, which is super interesting, but also quite demanding. Maybe one thing to share, like I said it at the beginning, like some people are like very keen to help you, because like especially when you look at us, like we look like a bunch of young students. Like sometimes people are still asking me like, what am I studying? And like it used to be so like a few years ago. So sometimes people are like so keen to help us that they go into this side of like mansplaining and like being too smart, and actually like trying to like overrule us totally. And then the respect that I was talking about before is a little lost. And that can hurt a lot. Like we've been to these situations many times, and like what I've learned from that is like try to distinguish whether the people are really trying to help you and they just like slipped over a little, or if they just are following their some internal need to make them some smart. So that's like the dark side of the getting the feedback. But still, if this feedback is not constructive, you still learn something. You learn that like there is feedback and feedback, there's person and person, and like you need to be very sensitive to what people you talk to, and what is their internal motivation behind talking to you.
Hello. Do you have some kind of buddy? Like, what if you go to the vacation for 14 days? Like, is there somebody that can like make your job as you are doing it right now?
Yeah, like I'm getting this question quite often, and like I can't imagine you are running a company and you are like not replaceable. Like that would be a disaster. So like since the very beginning, like we have documentation, we have like guides how to do everything, and like I'm sharing the know-how with other people. Like sure, like they may not be able to reproduce everything on their own, but like they can follow up on anything what's going on, like solve any issue that is happening. Like it's like something what we call a bus factor, and like it says like if your bus factor is 1 and a bus runs over you, the company stopped. So that's like, we are trying to avoid it from the very beginning. So yes, like anyone from the software team is able to like follow on any of the tasks when I'm on vacation. And I also want them to be like very independent and feel the ownership of what they are working on. So like everyone on the team is like very much like encouraged to be proactive. And yeah, that's it.
Any other question, guys? Okay, I will follow up then. Yeah, so how do you balance ideas from your vision of the product and the future with the feedback? So how does it look, that balance? Because of course, yeah, I assume since you, as you mentioned, you are talking with a lot of those customers, but at the same time, you kind of know what is your vision. You want to be, I think you have in your website written that you want to be global leader in no code automation or something in those lines. Yeah, can you tell us a bit how is that thinking process about your roadmap, and yeah, how do you balance your vision of your team compared to the feedback, and how to handle that?
Yeah, that's definitely a challenging one because like when you are growing bigger, like everyone on the team in your company has like their own motivation why they joined and why they want to work together with you. But you want to keep them like all motivated for the one ultimate vision kind of. So it's very important to have a vision and have it like clearly stated so that they can like look up to that. So, and like that's also what we've learned, like the vision should be ambitious, right? So that's why we have this like #1 in the world doing no-code robotics. But vision is something else than a strategy, and strategy is still something else than like an action plan. So like the immediate feedback that we take from the customers is driving our like quarterly plannings and our like action steps for the next like 3 months. However, we still, like when we do this planning, we still then double check with the vision if it still fits, if we are not going like sideways. And it's also like, it was difficult for me at the beginning, like some people were asking like, why aren't you doing like big AI models, big machine learning stuff? Why is it like so simple, let's say? And like it was hard for me to not to feel bad about it, but I know why we are doing it, because our main vision is to help the industry to get better and solve some of their pain points. So like, yes, we could go like all the way with like generative AI for robotics. Would it be useful in the industry? Would it be useful next year? Probably not. It would be like far-fetched. So like what we always try to balance is like how cool it is, what we are doing, but how impactful it is in the short term. And this is, we put more effort into being impactful in the short term. However, like this thing is super nice. It has its limitations. That's also why we are like still doing R&D. So it's like, this is not the end. Like we are still developing further. It's also why we applied for the EAC accelerator, and we were super lucky that we got that. So now like we are selling this, and we can also focus on the development of something more advanced, which will bring the impact just in the further future.
Yeah, since you mentioned the EIC accelerator, can you tell us what does it mean and what are you expecting of it, right? So for people that don't know and maybe could benefit out of it. I know that there was a lot of applicants and you was one of the selected ones, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I thought about the bootstrapping and the public money and so on. EIC Accelerator is a program that is the most competitive funding for deep tech startups in Europe. It's the most competitive because it's the best one. If you apply, you get quite a big grant size for your project, and it's also quite prestigious. So like you are introduced to the ecosystem of other European startups who are doing deep tech, who are doing like manufacturing industry, who are doing health, who are doing robotics, and it's really like top quality companies from all over the Europe. And we are the third Czech company ever who got in there. And like we are super happy about that, because first of all it means like what we are doing fits the strategic plans of European Union. which is nice. Like, we are a European company. We actually want to like push forward the competitiveness of our market. So like we are happy about that. It brings us the money. We are also happy about that, and it introduces us to the ecosystem, also like to other European VCs who we can approach at the next round. So yeah, EIC Accelerator in a nutshell is like really great funding. It's very competitive, but like so far the most like well invested time and effort into application for public funding.
How was the application process? Like, you need to fill a grant form or something? Like, can you a little bit talk about the process?
Yeah. So it's an application which has like 3 stages. First, it's a short proposal, so it's kind of a pitch that like you send like a pitch deck, and then there is an interview online with the jury. You can then follow up on writing the full proposal if you are accepted through the short one. Full proposal is like 50 pages application. You describe everything what you have in plan for the next 2 years, but also afterwards. So like you explain what is your vision, what impact it will have, what you will need to get there. You need to provide some proof points of the technology being viable, the idea being like viable. You need to provide proof points of the market traction as well. So having the pilots, having the references, having some VCs that are like telling you, yes, we would invest in the later stage when you develop it to like have the pilots paying and so on. So like business plan, technology roadmap, everything what you can like think of. Letters of intent. So like you ask your partners, like, could you please like sign this letter of intent telling that you like the product and like you wish for the product being developed further. It's quite a lot of work, but then it's reviewed by the expert jury on the European level, and if you are lucky, you are invited to the last stage, which is interview. So again, like you are pitching your idea in front of the jury. It was in person in Brussels. We went, all of us, like all the 3 founders, like the day before we were just practicing, like every hour we like get together and we practice the pitch, and then we were like studying the questions again and then practice the pitch again. Like it's very intense. But as I said, like if you are lucky and you get to the final stage, is really like a big opportunity.
Okay guys, so there is a last question for today, and then we will, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, nice question. Thanks. We filled the application for patent at the very beginning, and like last year we filled the second one for the more advanced product that we are developing. The patents for startups have like different roles. One is you are protecting your technology, but like honestly, if a big company comes and like copies your idea, your technology, you have like no resources to fight against them. So it's more like a symbolic protection. But second role a patent application has for you as a startup, it's very appealing for investors. So like we also did it for the strategy of that. And with the first patent, we tried to focus on what is unique about the thing, and that's the whole like method behind teaching robots this way. So it's not the motion tracking, it's not the sensors, it's not the electronics, it's not how it looks, but the whole method from like the idea, how we gather the data, how we produce the programs, and how it ends up in the robot. And so far we are, this is proceeding very well. So like we are now at the stage of like selecting the national, like the countries where we would apply for the national option of the patent. And for the second patent, it's still in progress. Like it takes a long time. So like in the lifetime of a startup, it can be like forever. But yes, I think that for a deep tech startup, it's really important to start with that early. And yeah, we went the same way. Like we are working together with like patent attorney here in Czech Republic. We are not doing it ourselves. We want the thing to be professional. There is also like funding or tickets you can get for supporting that. So it's quite easy to get, and yeah, like it's a good question. I think that like it should be mentioned. Like it's an important thing to have.
Okay, so to finish for today, I will move more to topics of your reflections. So if you have a chance to do that with this kind of conversation. So what has made you, well, I will do the last two questions, and then of course we can go to the open mic and then enjoying the networking side of this evening. So my question goes towards, yeah, so what has made you most proud till now into this journey? Because yeah, you have in leadership 30 people, then grow the team internally, and yeah, so can you tell us, yeah, maybe one, the most important thing that made you proud till now in this journey? Yeah?
Like one professional thing that makes me proud is like when I see that the product is like doing its job, like what we dreamed of, like that it's actually doing. So like people in the industry are using it and they are saying like, this is what we needed and it's helping us, it's great. On the personal level, what makes me the most proud is when I see that the people working with me are actually happy at their job. Like it's just like such a nice feeling that like what we are building is like helping them to feel good and meaningful at work. So that's really nice.
And last point, so if you have the chance to give advice to a lot of hardware founders out there, and everyone is watching you now, so or listening to you, so what would be your advice to try to at least make it to the stage you are, that you've been able to fundraise, you have been able to get grants and money from investors as well? Yeah.
I was thinking a lot about how to answer this question. Yeah, don't get like too afraid of how big of a chunk it is at the beginning. Like don't stop even before actually starting. Like go and start the thing, and to make it look less like scary, try to really think of what is the minimum you need to do for the product, to show it to someone, to validate it, to like talk about that with someone. Because the minimum can be like way less than what you would think of. So it can be actually less scary than you think, and it should not like stop you from trying that out. So that would be my advice.
So thank you very much, Megi, for your time today and all the experience and all the success in the next steps with your product and the company in general. So thank you. So guys, okay, from tomorrow you can start your hardware company as well. Inspired today. So as I said before, so if anyone wants to join for a 2 minutes or 1 minute pitch of your ideas or what you are working on at the moment, or someone else from the ecosystem wants to mention opportunities that they know that could be beneficial to the community, feel free to share it. So and join us here. Yeah. Go ahead. You can come here and.
Hi, I'm Chris, and on Brno University of Technology, we are developing with my classmates a robot, a Delta bot. You can see a Delta 3D printer here. It's kind of similar construction, and we developed it on our university through some competition on our university, and now we're looking for, like we're doing it the other way, now we're looking for some use for it. But the technology market with the robots, like the industrial ones, are really overcrowded, and we're looking for some small crack or some like to sneak our project in. And now I'm here to talk to some people, which I hope there is someone who understands this problematic and knows about some problem which needs to be solved and is good for high-speed robotics and is mainly on some table or on some like belt that is going underneath the robot. So if you know some problem that needs to be solved in robotic and potential solving is some industrial robot, we are looking for that problem to solve. So feel free to find me here. I'm gonna be waiting for you.
Thank you. So guys, anyone else wants to join?
Hello, I'm Martin. I built a few robots. My application is education and also like home robotics. And here I'm just looking for a connect with people and talk about it. Maybe I can show, I have a YouTube video, maybe I can show you later. And application would be, for example, I talked to some people in university and I showed them my robot and they were like, they never seen it working so good. And for example, another one would be like clean a house. For example, pick up some socks or something and put it into the washing machine or something like that. Okay. So please talk to me. Thank you very much.
So I think it looks like someone is solving an important problem and not generative AI, so it's good.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Patrick. I'm a director of Maker Institute, and I would like to tell you a story about our part in the whole ecosystem. And it actually starts with this amazing startup. Some 2 years ago, I met one of the co-founders of Megi, David, and he told me about this amazing idea. And because they were looking for the offices back then, I was like, hey, you should start to go to our place, which was the next zone, the makerspace that you mentioned. And it actually happens with 2 different startups as well, that we snatch somebody that we just met to work with us. And since then, I started talking so much shit about the universities that they are not attracting the talent and that they are not giving them any opportunities. So they basically, last year they told me, hey, you're talking so much shit, you should do it if you have so much problems. So that's what we are doing right now. We are working with the Czech Technical University and the University of Chemistry. And this year we started our first program. This is focused on finding people who might be interested and have some good idea in the early stage and giving them access to the makerspaces and to the laboratories they need to. We have 14 different teams right now, and they are developing quite interesting things. So if you are interested in this, helping some new talents emerging, I would be happy to chat. Thank you.
Yeah, we have chance for one more person if you want to go. And that's it. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Matěj, and in last 2 years I got really introverted, so I really need to start to talk with people. So if you want to talk, I'm open to talk. Thank you.
That's good. No, okay, you wanted.
It was a quick one, and I have a quick one as well.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. So not every problem is about technology, guys.
It will be fast. What do you think is the alarming situation which we may observe around? You may think about something different, but I think that the climate change is important. And for whom is it important? I'm 57. Is it important for me? Not much. But for the kids who are now 12, 15, it will be important. So I have a project for schools where I want to show to the kids that the climate change is something which is measurable, which they can observe, and they can react to it. And it's based on the concept of collaboration with universities. So if you, someone, would be interested to participate in such a project, just come to me. The project name is Klima Monitor, and it has ambition to be worldwide. So I'm really happy to talk to you and tell you if there is an opportunity to work with us, because it's not a big business, it's just giving a chance to the small kids to adapt to the environment which they're going to live in. That's it.
Yeah, Bara, you want to chat as well?
Hi everyone. I just want to add that if you would like to support such interesting events like this one, so please talk to us, because we are from Make More and from Prusha Lab, and we are really happy to talk to you about the opportunities, how to develop these events further. So open to talk and enjoy the rest of the evening.
So thank you, Vara. Thank you, everyone who joins the open mic. So without further comments, thanks for all of you guys coming, for Megi as well, for the partners, Prusha Lab, Make More, EpicX, Oversky. And we are already scheduled the second edition of this event. So it's going to be in January with Monika Stepanova from Lightly Technologies. She's building hardware for detecting counterfeit medicines over here, and also with partners in the US. So feel free. We will release, of course, the event soon, and then you can start joining us, and of course invite more people. Or any comments and suggestions and improvements or ideas, feel free to reach out as well. And as Vara is saying, always looking for partners who joins to this community and get more people into hardware startups and moving from prototype to scale ideally and move forward. So thank you very much. Feel free to enjoy the rest of the evening with us, mingle around, do good networking with everyone, and enjoy some food and drinks. So thank you.